Hello, everyone. Welcome to the Hypergamous Journey. This is Denise. So, one of the things that I think I don't talk about enough is attracting the right man. So, that goes back to your standards. So, you're going to go on a lot of dates before you get the right person. You're going to go on a lot of dates, and it will get discouraging. You will wonder if you've missed your opportunity. You will wonder and maybe wish you had chosen somebody else from 20 years ago who really adored you and wanted to be with you, but you didn't feel the same way about them. And I encourage you to keep pushing forward, to keep pushing through those negative feelings and those negative thoughts. One thing I am sure about is that for me, my man is coming. The man for me is coming. And that I should not settle. I should not settle. So I would rather just live my life as a single woman, which I have done all of my life, than to settle down with the wrong person who will make my life miserable. And if you think your life is miserable as a single woman, get with a man and you will get twice the misery or 10 times the misery. Get with a man who you're settling for. And I've said many times on this channel that there are men who say that because we are mature, that we should take what we can get. And those are the men who probably aren't worth me even mentioning on this channel. But since they take the time to comment, I take the time to block them permanently. So a lot of those comments you don't see, and some slip through, but rest assured, when I see them, they are deleted and blocked from this channel, and it's lots of them too. But I digress. So in your dating, and while you're dating, you're living your life. You're working, you're spending time with your children, your grandchildren, your extended family. I think you're traveling. I said traveling. So you're traveling and you're having a good time, enjoying life. But you're going to meet a lot of frogs and go on dates with a lot of frogs before you get the right man. And it does get discouraging. But I encourage you to reframe the negative thinking in that you get to practice on men so that when the right one shows up, you'll be able to recognize him and you will have had practice with communication. And communication can be broken down into two parts specifically, and maybe a third. The first one is tone. And they're not even in this particular order, like first or second, but I would just say number one is tone. How you say what you're saying and what kind of voice inflection you use. For example, are you going to take the trash out? When are you going to take the trash out? Are you going to take the trash out? Versus, honey, the trash needs to be taken out. Which one would you respond to? That's just a simple example. Which one would you respond to? I would respond to the latter. Honey, are you going to take the trash out? Rather than, when are you going to take the trash out? I have to frown up to even say it that way. When are you going to take the trash out? It's been sitting here forever. So it's overflowing. So that's tone. Then it's timing. Do you start asking him about the trash as soon as he opens the door and closes it while he's standing in the foyer or standing at the door, or his back is turned closing the door so he can lock it or whatever, if it doesn't automatically lock, are you going to take the trash out? Or he walks in and puts one foot on the staircase and you're like, are you going to take the trash out? You get the point. So timing, tone, and along with timing goes giving your partner options. Can we talk about going on vacation now or later? Giving him or her an option. Can we talk about going on vacation now or later? So I know these techniques work because I didn't communicate this way when I was in a relationship. Now I would communicate this way if I was at work. If I wanted to talk about something, I would ask my supervisor if I could schedule a time to talk with her about a raise, for example. I wouldn't just knock on her door and say, I want to talk to you about about a raise, because what you've given me to do is really just another position. So you don't go doing that to your supervisor or your manager or your director or the regional vice president. You schedule an appointment. So technically, I'm asking you to do the same with your partner, to schedule an appointment. Honey, I would like to talk about our vacation for 2025. Is now a good time to talk about it or later? And he might say, yeah, let's talk about it now, which is good. And if he says, no, let's talk about it later, then you can say, well, when would it be good for you? And he could say maybe an hour or tomorrow after work. And then you let him come to you and you wait until he comes to you. I know that's hard to hear. I know. Because you feel like you need to ask him about it again. But you got to wait. So how do I get this from? Where did I get this information from? I read this. I'm reading this book. I treat it as a reference book. It's called Getting to I Do. And it does talk about single women in the phases of a relationship that leads to marriage. She says if you do the things in this book, within a year, you will be married if you are dating the right person who wants to be married. But the book isn't just for getting married, I feel. I think it's a good book for people who are already married, especially when the communication section of it. She gives you scripts to implement or to say to your partner when you're talking about things that are from the mundane to more conflictual things. And I'm sure I don't have to give you examples of what could be of conflict. Like if you're a blended family and he treats his children a certain kind of way and you don't necessarily agree with the way that he's doing things with his children, and you feel like it's a detriment to your relationship for him to do those things. So she does, that's not any particular example in the book. That's something I came up with off the top of my head, but she does give the technique to address and how to communicate difficult subjects with your partner. And I have found it very, very helpful. So yeah, so it's tone, it's timing, and I say making an appointment with your partner to talk about your feelings and any ideas that you may have about your relationship or just any subject matter. So tone, timing, and making an appointment. And just treating your partner and your style of communication in a similar way that you treat communication with your supervisor, manager, regional vice president, or anyone at your job. You don't barge into their office blabbing everything out to them about what you want and what's not going right, and nagging and complaining to them. You make an appointment, you prepare for the meeting with your points, and it's similarly to how you should communicate with your partner. It works because I've done it, and I'm doing it with the men that I'm meeting and with the people I'm in community with. It works, as they say, if you work it. So the book, Getting to I Do, I highly recommend for especially women who are dating and also for women who are married. It has an excellent chapter on communication. It's an easy read. And there's a section, a chapter, I think it's chapter 4, that has quizzes, has a quiz with questions. I think they're about 30 questions that help you determine if you are a masculine energy woman or a feminine energy woman. I've taken that quiz a couple of times to see how my answers have changed. Some of my answers have changed over time, but my total score is that I am a feminine woman. So that's it for me. Remember, the Valentine's Social is Saturday, February 15th. And I will see you in the next video. And I'll put the coffee social link in the description. And I will see you in the next video. Bye.